I get quite a few questions from people who have some lower back pain, whether they're coming back, they've just been released from their doctor and physical therapist to go to exercise and they really want to work on their core, or they just have a weak core that just seems to cause them a lot of pain on a regular basis. I'm going to go over a nice, gentle beginner exercise routine to build up some core strength. What you always want to do is make sure that you have your head up, shoulders back, hold your core in like you're trying to touch your belly button to your spine, hips in a neutral alignment, knees also in a neutral alignment with your knees over your second and third toes. If you can kind of visualize that through your shoes, you can see the difference. Some people, when they stand like this with their knees kind of in, which is not even over their big toe. You want to make sure that you're standing with your knees over your toes and then your feet straight ahead. So that's proper postural alignment for pretty much every exercise. Always want to make sure that you have your head up, shoulders back, core in, things like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do first, a lot of times when we have weak muscles, it's because we have tight muscles in other areas. Usually low back pain or weak low back and core can be caused by tight calves, hip flexors, and tight lats. So what we're going to do first is we're going to do some foam rolling and static stretching to loosen up those tight muscles. So first thing is the foam rolling of the calves. Get your foam roller, and you can do one leg at a time or both. If you choose to do both, it'll be a little bit less pressure, but what you'll do is you hold yourself up, and you'll need to move your hands from time to time because your weight will be a little bit hard to hold on to. But roll all the way up from your Achilles tendon all the way to the back of your knees, and if you find any tight spots, just kind of knead those out. And if you find that's not enough pressure, then you can do one leg at a time and put the one leg on top of the other and use that bottom leg to foam roll, and you'll feel a lot more pressure on your calves. And so do that for 30 seconds and switch sides. And then we'll go to foam rolling the hip flexors and quads. So in order to foam roll the hip flexors, you get on the side. It's almost like on the side, but you're kind of tilted at a 45-degree angle because you want to hit this front part of your hips. I'm going to start up here at this top hip bone, pelvic bone, and go all the way down till you hit the hip bone. And again, just 30 seconds. You'll probably feel, quite a few people have felt quite a bit of tightness, even some pain when you foam roll this tight area. And then you'll switch to the quad, and you can do both quads at the same time or one. It's actually easier to do both. So you start up at your hip bones, roll all the way down to the top of your knees, back up. If you feel any tight spots again, usually if you have tight hip flexors, it'll be these top muscles up here that you feel the tightest at. So just kind of give those attention, and then switch to the other side of the hip flexors. Again, we're going to do at the side, on your side, and kind of rotate forward to a 45-degree angle to where you feel, and for some you may need to rotate a little bit more forward or back. What you want to do is just go by how you feel. Wherever you feel the tightness, you'll know it. So foam roll that for 30 seconds as well. Then we're going to do the static stretching for all three of those muscle groups. First one that we did was the calves. So 30 seconds. Put your one foot back, lean on the forward front leg if you need to. Hold that for 30 seconds. Switch back to the back leg. You want to really make sure that you're getting a good stretch in your calves, the gastrocnemius and the soleus muscles. Your hip flexors, you can do two ways. I'll show you both. Again, you're kind of like in the calf stretch position, but you just rotate that pelvis under to where you feel it right in the front of your hips, right where you were kind of foam rolling your calves. And then you reach your hand up and tilt toward that side, and that'll make it a little bit more stretch in your side as well. And you hold that for 30 seconds. I'll show you on the other side. So you're kind of in the calf stretch right there. Rotate that pelvis under to where you feel it right here. Hand up and over. And hold that for 30 seconds. And you should feel it here and a little bit to the side as well. And a little bit up here, but mostly here. So you hold that for 30 seconds. The second option is to do both the quads and the hip flexors at the same time. I'll show you from this angle. You put your knee, get your front leg in a 90-degree angle, and take this back leg and pull it up, and then just let your weight sink. And you'll feel, if your hip flexors are really tight, you'll really feel that. Just hold that for 30 seconds. And then switch sides. And some of your one side may be tighter than the other at different times, depending on what your regular activities are. So you may be more flexible on one side than you are on the other. Okay, so that was the static stretch for the hip flexors and the quads. And now we'll do the lats. How you foam roll the lats. The lats are these muscles right here. They kind of go up to the back of your armpit and down to your rib cage right here. At least the part that's the most tight, that causes the imbalance in your lower back. So you get on your side, just kind of hold your body weight up and roll wherever you feel a tight spot. Just kind of knead that out. And do that for 30 seconds. Then you switch to the other side. Go up to the armpit, back of the armpit, and up down to the bottom of your rib cage. And do that for 30 seconds. Now the stretch for your lats, you can use a stability ball. Let me bring that out here. We're going to need this later. So what you do, you just kind of get on all fours, and then you reach up with the one arm that you want to stretch, and you put that on the ball, and then you just sink your weight into that, and you should feel the stretch all along the area that you just foam rolled, right in your lat area. You hold that for 30 seconds. And you switch. And you're really going to feel this right in that area. And hold that for 30 seconds. All right, so now we've kind of gotten our tight muscles loosened up. We're going to try to strengthen those weak core and ab and back muscle, lower back muscles. So the first thing we're going to do, you don't want to start off with anything crazy like those back extensions or crunches, because that actually that actually involves spinal flexion, and that can cause a little bit too much for those weak muscles. So these exercises are actually just going to be based on spinal stabilization and using a little bit more isometric muscle contractions. So this is called the bird dog, and you start out on all fours, and you opposite arm, opposite leg, Doesn't really matter which one you start with, but come up, flex that back foot, hold for 2 seconds, and switch. And these exercises look deceptively easy, but these will work. You'll feel it. You'll start feeling it pretty quickly. So you want to do that 10 times on each side. Three more. One more time each. Good. All right, so you've kind of worked your glutes and your lower back with that one. Again, we're going to go back to, we're going to still work the glutes and lower back again. This is the floor prone cobra, so you're on your stomach. Palms facing down, so your thumbs are sticking out. So you come up like you're a cobra getting ready to strike. Bring your knees off the floor, your toes off the floor, and your upper body as much as you can. So you really feel a squeeze in your lower back, especially. So hold that for 5 seconds and release. And release. And again, we're going to do this for 10 times. Release. Come up. And 4. And 5. 5 more. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. All right, so there's 10 of those. The next one will be the floor bridge. So you're going to have your lay on your back with your heels as close to your butt as you can. Lie flat on the floor with your arms out if you need to for balance. You're going to push through your heels and squeeze. Again, try to squeeze your stomach in like you're trying to touch your belly button to your spine. Hold for 5 seconds and slowly release. Come back up and release. That's 2. We're going to do this 10 times as well. Release. Four. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. Last one. And release. Okay, the next one we're going to do is the plank. And what we'll do is three planks for 20 seconds each. And the longer you do this, the more you'll be able to build up. You'll eventually be able to do, 3 sets of 25, 3 sets of 30. So just gradually build up over time. But we're going to start with 20 seconds. And begin. And release. Okay. Rest for a couple seconds and we'll do that again. And begin. And again, you want to keep your shoulders right over your elbows. Don't start to push back. Don't let your hips come up. Don't let them droop too much. Just keep your core as straight as you can, squeezed in as hard as you can, and relax. Okay, one more. Last one. And release. Okay. So we did those 4 core exercises. The next thing we're going to do is kind of work on balance, because when you're working on balance, you also have to work your core a little bit. And the idea of this exercise is not to see how hard or how high we can get this leg, this stabilizer leg up. You want to just work this balance leg. So forward, side, back, forward, side, back. We're going to do this 8 times through. It's all about working this making the stabilizer leg work to keep you from falling over. All right, I almost lost count there. I think one more time through. All right, switch sides. Forward, side, back. If you need to go slower, feel free. And again, you'll discover that one of your legs may be stronger someday due to different activities, or you may have better balance on one leg. That's completely normal. Okay, so final, we're going to do the wall squat. So you'll need a clear spot of wall and a ball. You want to start it with kind of in your lower back, with your feet quite a bit further out. What you do when we go down into the squat, you don't want your feet to be so close that when you squat down, your knees come way out here. That's really bad for your knees. So kind of make your body at an angle. We're going to squat down and come back up. You want to try to go below the parallel so that your upper legs are below the parallel to the ground. Nice and slow. We're going to do this 15 times. Two more, last one, and 15. All right, that's good. You can do one more time through of those core and balance exercises. You can do this, once a day. The foam rolling and stretching exercises are always good to do. I mean, you can do that morning and night. So hopefully this will help you, and over time, you can build up the number of reps, build up the time that you're holding. Instead of going through just twice, you can go through 3 times, just to build up your core until you're strong enough to go on to more complicated exercises.